at 05 as well. So Nebraska, we had them on Mitch Sherman yesterday. They're terrible. Their sellout streak is 376 now because donors bought whatever remaining tickets there were to the game against mighty Fordham. Now, they sold out games no matter if they were hosting Notre Dame or Oklahoma or whoever it was, or perhaps Buffalo. This just means they've just delayed the inevitable. This means you can't do this every week because, like, next week, I don't know who it is. Buffalo. Somebody going to do that again? They got the money to do it again? This means your streak is on, like your football team is on, you're on fumes.
Yeah.
Does it count? Sure it does. It's a sellout streak. Jerry Jones has done it. Others have done it. And, it's not who's there. What will be interesting is how many people will be in that stadium, because even when they have been bad for the last 10 or 15 years or on and off, they have still been blanket red throughout that place.
Well, yeah, I mean, what are they going to do? I mean, I'm sure they're going to give those tickets away to
students.
No, they're giving them to kids.
Kids. But, again, I mean, are people still going to go, even if it's free?
I wonder if that's an NCAA violation.
Yeah, it's not.
To give it to, like, at-risk children?
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, they're recruitable players. I hope not.
Have them sign an NIL deal now.
I did something at SFA one year where I gave Kyle Keller some tickets, and he gave them to at-risk or those who otherwise could not afford to be able to go to an SFA game, and their tickets aren't very expensive.
Yeah.
Well,
I'll say this. I mean, I think it's a good thing that they're doing that for those kids, but it's a fake streak now, and probably was far before that. It's a streak that only Nebraska fans care about, quite honestly, because everybody else who saw that tweet's just laughing at it from every other fan base, because it's not a real sellout. It's a forced sellout. I mean, I think it's a cool thing to be able to say, but like, now you're saying you're like 346 games, and it's like, yeah, but not really. You know what I mean? It's just it's a fake streak now because you're forcing the sellout by buying extra tickets, so you can, in theory, have a sellout. You could be 0-12 every year and no one shows up, but if you want to, you could just buy all the tickets and claim a sellout.
Well, you remember a few years ago when Jimbo Fisher left A&M, they had to reschedule a game for the end of the year. They got knocked out by a hurricane.
You mean Florida State?
I say Florida. What did I say?
You said A&M.
When he left for A&M, when Jimbo Fisher left for A&M, and Florida State had to reschedule a game at the end of the year. They got knocked out by a hurricane, so they could keep their bowl streak alive and get to their 6th win.
Yeah.
And as an alum, I was just like, no, and not even knowing that Willie Taggart was going to come in the next year and wreck it anyway. And so they had the bowl streak for one more year. Like, what's it worth? If you didn't get it honest, don't do it.
I agree. And you know how I feel about it. To me, it almost got to the point where I was like, I don't know how they're doing it. 50-something years, whatever it might be.
It's a really cool
The next one in line is like Oklahoma, just over 130. So you proved your point, but like everything else, it's easy to sell out when that's the only thing in town, and you're great for 40 years. Now you're not, and goodbye to the streak at some point. That's just a matter of time.
I almost think it would have been like the perfect time to just have the streak end. I mean, it's not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. It's really not. It's just something Nebraska wants to continue promoting, and everybody else kind of knows it's not exactly what it was before. But, with all of the changes and just kind of the feeling around there, I mean, maybe you should have let the streak die, And now it's kind of like the one thing you're holding on to, but there's like nobody actually excited about the product they're showing up to see. So maybe less worry about the sellout streak. Not that they're worried about it, but, less about the sellout streak and more about the actual football team. But, an impressive record regardless of if it ended this weekend or if they, keep buying tickets.
I do know this is that the